Well, the storm had passed, laundry was done, St. Patrick's Day was celebrated. There's really nothing left to do but jump in the car and head west. Drive up the Mississippi coastline turned out to be very pretty. White sand beaches on the left. I had about a 2-hour ride just to the north side of Lake Pontchartrain at Fontainebleau State Park. Got to the park okay. Didn't really like my first camping spot, so I went to the office and switched to a different spot. There wasn't too much time left in the day, just enough time for me to whip up some curry chicken spaghetti and do my dishes and sit down for a little relaxing guitar picking. In the morning, I went to check out the sugar mine ruins and did a little bit of hiking as well. And I got a chance to check out this lady's rig called the Cool Bus. Man, this girl was pure hippie. The truly juice just flowing out of this thing. That evening, I went to the north side of Lake Pontchartrain for the sunset. Man, I was not disappointed. It was beautiful. Caught these two lovebirds out there capturing some of their own stuff on their phones. I wish there was a way I could send them what I captured. I'm sure they would probably appreciate it. The next evening, I went up to a town called Mandeville. I guess it's a pretty well-to-do town, and ran into this kid who was bound and determined to get my Allman Brothers t-shirt off my back. Somehow we got talking about music, and he said, "Did you see this car down the street?" And I told him it was mine. Next thing you know, I'm singing on the shoreline, and these guys are recording it, and they're all thinking, that this old man's pretty cool.
Lord, it's a mighty hard living, but it's a damn good feeling to run these roads.
The next stop on my journey was an unexpected stop in Baton Rouge at the Queen of Baton Rouge Casino. Good times, and I'll tell you all about it here. So let me explain how I ended up in the Queen of Baton Rouge. So as I was approaching Baton Rouge, you know, you got to get on the big freeway to get over the Mississippi. I mean, there's other bridges, but that's the main one. So I'm navigating closer and closer to Baton Rouge, even though I'm taking back roads. And man, about 20 miles out of Baton Rouge, my car is just making a crazy racket. I mean, it's loud. It's rattling, just crazy shit. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm really freaking out, thinking I did something nasty to the engine because it just sounds like metal on metal. And anyways, I remembered because I stayed in Biloxi, a guy told me that there's one in Baton Rouge called the Queen of Baton Rouge. So I figured I could limp it into that parking lot, which I did. Eventually, you know, unhooked the trailer, crawled underneath the car to find out that it was just a muffler. These roads around Baton Rouge were so bad that it just split that muffler open like a sardine can. And yeah, so that was that. After I figured that out and figured it wasn't anything engine catastrophic, I looked up a muffler place and took it there in the morning and got me hooked back up and went back to the river for a night. So yeah, that's it. I did meet a gal also from that area. She asked, like, we were online, and she said, what are you doing? I said, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. And so I told her I'm sitting out in the parking lot of the Queen of Baton Rouge in a 67 Chevy in a lawn chair. And she says, oh my God, I work just across the street. So she looks out the window, and here I am out there. So she comes over at her lunchtime, and we end up getting together with her 4 or 5 lawyer friends. She was a lawyer for the state of Louisiana in some regard. I didn't film any of this, but good times, good people. One dude was so intrigued by the travel. I think it was something he really wanted to do. He actually swung by the casino parking lot where I was way back in this corner, as you can see, just to pick my brain and go over it. So good times were had, emergency situation avoided, and back on the road. Getting ready to push off here, and we're headed to a park just an hour and a half away from here called Chico Park. I'm going to spend 2 days there, I believe, and then it's crossing the border into Texas to a place called Sandy Creek. So my next 5 days are logged ahead of time. There'll be no more casinos, and from what I can see, these sites are really quite nice. One's actually lakefront, so pretty special sites. So I'm looking forward to getting on the road. Still trying to work on that first week's travel video, man. It's been so damn nice. It's hard to do the editing, but I will get to it. And see you on down the road. So that wraps up the Queen of Baton Rouge, and all in all, not too bad. Waterfront property, beautiful sunsets, and we are off and we are crossing the Mississippi. Here we go, kids. Like Lewis and Clark crossing over the mighty Mississippi. The other side, baby. Chevy's running fine. She's towing fine. She's tracking fine. My next stop is Chico Park, but not before Billy's. So last night, having dinner with this 5 lawyers from the state of Louisiana, they started talking about these Bowden balls. You have to get these Bowden balls, and a Bowden ball, I guess, is some type of pork sausage mixed with rice, wrapped in some type of flour dough and deep fried.
It's kind of a Cajun treat, I believe. They also have Bowden wraps, and then they have these things called crackling, something crackling. So pulled over to get some gas. They told me to hit Billy's, and it just turns out that Billy's is the same as the gas station. So it's close to lunchtime. We're 11:30. We're gonna go see what these Bowden balls are all about. Judging by the line here, it looks like they're a pretty popular item. Well, I've got my boudin ball sampler. I've got a boudin ball, a crawfish wrap, and a chicken crackler. And sit down at this picnic table and have lunch. So this is a pepper jack boudin ball. Oh my God. Those are really good. I don't know if you can see that. Pork, pepper jack cheese, some onions. Good stuff. Okay, that boudin ball, pepper jack boudin ball, was the bomb. I'm sure it's not that good for you, but now we're gonna try crawfish roll up. Basically, it looks just like an egg roll, but I imagine it's filled with crawfish and it's good. Could use a little hot sauce maybe, or a little tiger sauce. Nowhere near as good as the boudin ball. That boudin ball was like a slice of heaven. Crawfish roll-up was okay. Not out of this world. Now we're gonna try what they call chicklin cracklins. They're just basically a deep fried chicken nugget kind of thing with some Cajun spices on it. Hell, maybe they even sell these at Popeyes, I don't know. Flavor is excellent. Chicken's tender. Yeah, I could see these with a beer. All right, that concludes the Louisiana Billy's stop, which I was told I have to hit. We got maybe 35 minutes to go to get to camp. So easy drive today. Stay there for 2 or 3 days, I believe, and then into Texas. Stick with me, kids. So, made it to Chico Park. Looks to be pretty. The azaleas are in bloom.
Finally found my campsite, and it's a little precarious because it was on quite the decline, but I managed to make it work. And got settled in, took a walk along the raised path over the swamps and the cypress trees, and even had a little time to do a little editing for y'all.
About an hour and a half ago, I wrapped these Bowden balls in some tinfoil and put them up in my dashboard with the sun beating on them. We're gonna see if they're slightly warm.
Just warm enough to keep the cheese just a bit gooey. Dashboard oven success. Now the old man's got to work off those boudin balls. If you're gonna go down the road, why not have a little beauty?
The azaleas are in bloom, baby. Well, packed up in a torrential rainstorm this morning at Chico Park in Louisiana. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing better than being on the road and all of a sudden the sun peeks out and you are on a smooth, well-paved back road. It's just damn beautiful.